Hello, this is Jason P. Wilson 01 X-Force, and this is a new episode of Heroes, What You Need to Know and Why. This is also my female character of the week. Now, last week, my female character of the week was Stephanie Brown, and I had mentioned she was not only one of my favorite female characters, but one of my favorite characters, period. And that definitely goes the same for this week. And that character is X-23. Now, X-23 was first introduced to me in a television series I watched called X-Men Evolution, and I believe it was the third season, and the title of the show was X-23. And she was introduced as Wolverine's clone, and it was pretty cool, and I thought she was pretty neat. Now she looked much different than she does now, almost completely different. She's very tomboyish, very dark features. And I thought she was pretty cool, but I really didn't think much of her after that. And it wasn't until a limited series that I heard was great I ended up picking up. And that series is called NYX. And NYX was this story, this great story about a small group of homeless teenage mutants living in New York City. And they're actually literally living on the streets and on the rooftops, and no one cares for them. No one, has any type of. They don't care if they're alive. So they really find each other, and they become their own family. And it's those characters and that bond that they had, especially between the characters of X-23. And this character that's name was Kitten, and she had this time freezing ability. Those two had this special bond that I really drew me into the character of X-23. And when the series X-23 Innocence Lost came out, I was very much on board and wanted to know more about this character. Now, I both recommend X-23 Innocence Lost as well as X-23 Target X, but definitely read them in that order. Now, the devil really is in the details, and you get to know the details of X-23's young life. You find out that she's a female because the sample that they had when they restarted the Weapon X program of Wolverine, they couldn't salvage the Y chromosomes, so they could only make a female clone. And after 22 failed attempts, they finally are successful with the 23rd, and they take this clone of Wolverine, and she's actually put inside one of the head scientists of the group, and this woman, the scientist, she gives birth to X-23. Now, X-23 is property, and she is treated as such. She is owned. She is not allowed to be shown any type of affection or love. She is treated like a thing, and she is raised to be a killer. Now, they create this trigger scent. Now, this trigger scent, whenever X-23 smells it, she goes into this berserker rage, and she will mindlessly kill anyone that this scent is on. Now, as she gets older, they actually poison her. They poison her in order to activate her mutant gene, and they grow 2 claws on each hand and a claw on each foot, and then they coat those claws with adamantium. And like I said, they train her to be this killer. And one of the things they do is there's this character called Chimera, and she's this very strong and super powered woman, and she just beats and tortures and beats the crap at X-23 during training. Just really goes out of her way to abuse her. And it's this type of life that X-23 has her whole young life. And you really have empathy for her, and you really feel for her, and you really want her to get out of this. And again, there's going to be some spoilers here, but her birth mother, eventually wants her to escape this terrible life. She doesn't want her to be owned anymore. She wants her to have a real life because she really loves her, and she starts to secretly do this and show her affection, and eventually she helps her escape. Now, again, there's some big spoilers in this because at the end of this, when they escape, someone ends up putting on the trigger scent on the mother. And when X-23 smells it, she goes into berserker rage and she ends up killing her mother. And as she's dying, her mother tells her that her name is Laura. The X-23's name is Laura. And she hands her this letter with this picture of Charles Xavier and the Xavier School and Wolverine. And at that point, in X-23, Target X, she goes to live with her mother's sister, and a bunch of other things happen, but I won't get too much into that. But I can tell you that all of these things are tragic, and X-23 is this like character that's very withdrawn, and she's very emotionless, and she doesn't understand emotions at all. And I kind of have a connection towards her and like her the same way why I like Data from Star Trek Next Generation so much, and it's because of that fact. She's this emotionless girl, a clone, and she doesn't know love and she doesn't know emotion, and kind of like how Dexter is on the Dexter series too. And she really wants to be more. She knows and she sees other people being more, but she just doesn't know how. And especially now, she really wants to learn from the people around her how to be more than she is. And it's that desire to be good, even though there's every reason why she shouldn't be good. She was trained to be a killer. She's a clone. She's had a terrible childhood, and there's no reason for her to be good. But she tries, because in her heart, that's truly what she wants. Now, after those series, I really didn't see much of her. I didn't read much of her, and I know she popped up in X-Men, and she fought Wolverine, and I think she was in New X-Men, and she had some relationships with some of the Young Mutants there. But it wasn't really until X-Force, when she joined that team, that I got to read her in that way again consistently, and I really loved X-Force and her role in it. Now, I will say that that team was sanctioned secretly by Cyclops, and that Wolverine was the head of that team. And X-23 wanted to join and was technically, I think, the first person on the team. And Wolverine didn't want her to be any part of it, but Cyclops forced the issue, and that became a big friction between Wolverine and Cyclops. But ultimately, she's on the team, and she goes through a lot, and you really discover that she really has no regard for herself, and she's become this beautiful woman, but she doesn't know it, and she doesn't care, and she doesn't care about herself, and she'll gladly sacrifice her life to save anyone else's, especially those of her people she feels as her family, which is the X-Men. And especially for Wolverine, Wolverine's become like a father figure to her. Now, this whole time, Wolverine is trying to get her to just get out of it and to go be a real girl. And after the series is over and X-Force is exposed, and even though they did a lot of good in a bad way, they're disbanded by Cyclops. But Wolverine's not done with it, and he starts up a team of his own, and that's what is currently going on, the Uncanny X-Force. Now, of course, X-23 just assumes she's going to be on the team, but Wolverine goes to her and says, "No, you're not on this team. I don't want you part of this team. I want you to go and find yourself. You have done nothing but do what everyone else has told you. You've done what Cyclops has told you. You've done what I've told you to do, what the people that felt they owned you told you to do, but you've never done truly what you want to do." And she doesn't know who she is. She doesn't know what she wants. She just does what people tell her to do. So Wolverine sees this, and he forces her to go and find out who she is, and to go live her life and to discover who she is and who she wants to be. And that's where the current ongoing X-23 series is. The first story arc was all connected with the Wolverine going to hell story arc, but has since then turned into really a road journey. She's teamed up with Gambit and with Dakin and all these other people. But the great thing about the series that I really recommend after you read those trades I said earlier is that it's basically a young woman's journey in trying to find out who she is. Someone who wants to be a human, truly a human being, what it is to be a human being, and she wants to find out what that is. And this is what the series is really about. Now, of course, there's action and a good X-Men tale, but it's really ultimately about the journey of X-23 and her trying to find her humanity, something that she's never truly been able to tap into. And I'm looking forward to where this series is going to go. Now, X-23 is a character, and the reason you care about her is that you want to be with her when she goes on this journey. You want to be with her when she discovers what love is. You want to go on this journey when she discovers what it is to truly care. You want to go on this journey when she meets relationships and grows as a person. She has every reason to be a bad person, every reason to be a villain, but she finds it within herself to be a hero. And it's that journey and that desire to be good, to be a hero, that I really connect with, because it shows you that no matter what obstacles are in your way, a true hero is someone who does what's right regardless. There's always going to be a reason to do the wrong thing, but if you look within yourself and you always try to grow as a human being, then there's always a new day and there's always a new chance to be that person you want to be. And X-23 is on that journey. And it's still early in the series. It's only been a couple story arcs, but you already see the direction it's going in. Now, I would love it to get to the caliber of like Ultimate Spider-Man is now. And I know they'll have different writers and different artists on the team. But so far, they're really doing a good job in taking X-23 on this journey. And ultimately, I feel that they will succeed, because that seems to be the overall goal. I have no idea how long the series will last. It's definitely popular. And this is one of those characters that actually gets an ongoing series when they deserve it. But this is a character that I really care for, and I really have empathy and desire to see grow and see what's going to happen to her. And again, I recommend the ongoing series as well as the two trades, X-23 Target X, and before that X-23 Innocent Lost. And I want to thank you for listening. And again, this is definitely a character that is worth reading and worth caring about. She is the things that I feel make a true hero, and that's not someone who has it easy, but someone who has it hard, but keeps on trying to be good anyway. And with that said, I'd like to wrap it up by again saying that if there's any questions you have about this particular character, I recommend reading what I said earlier. But you can also pick up the last X-Force. There's a few trades of those out, and even though the trades don't have the complete story, it definitely gives you the most important ones. And with that said, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.